Let's talk about what's going on with him and how this is wrong. Let's talk about what's going on with him and how this is wrong. I don't even know, shouldn't even have to explain why this is wrong to the crowd that's upset. Like, to the people who call it wrong are the same people who was complaining when the Biden administration was telling all the social media platforms to disregard and cut anything that has anything negative to say about C-19. Those same people that was upset about that are the same people that can't see what's wrong with Jimmy Kimmel being, the Jimmy Kimmel show being suspended. All right. Whenever the government starts to interfere with stuff like this, and I know the FCC regulates communication, but I know a reach when I see one. Okay. I know a reach when I see one. When the chairman of the FCC goes on a podcast and pretty much says, hey, listen, we're pulling licenses. We're shutting down anything that has to do with misinformation. I hear they're trying to come up with laws to stop people from saying like anti-hate speech laws or something stupid like that. You understand? Like, that's the government interfering with your freedom of speech. All right. When people was over here dancing, talking about we smoking on Charlie Kirkpatrick and all of this stupid stuff, when people reported that person to their job, that job fired that person because they had the right to do so. Because if they wasn't able to fire that person, you would be impeding on their freedoms, on your employer's freedoms, okay? The only people that can't tell you what to say, what to do, is the government, unless it's a safety issue, all right? And you can clearly see right now the FCC is trying to, is pretty much saying, hey, listen, you guys either play ball or you don't play at all. And I have a problem with that, man, because I remember, bro, like, we was all upset when the government was interfering with social media platforms. I remember that because I was on my YouTube channel making all type of jokes about C-19, almost lost my channel. Had no idea why. I had no idea why. Do a kickflip? No. I had no idea why. Until later on, it was Mark Zuckerberg revealed that the government was telling him that it wasn't okay to post certain things or else there's going to be a whole lot to pay. Do you know that was like the most motivating factor for my disdain for the for that administration? That was the thing that was literally the straw that broke the camel's back. You can't make somebody be on social media. They don't want to be on social media. I have a job. No, that's a fact. Yeah. No. Like, this isn't about this. Let me tell you, this isn't about wanting to be on social media and not wanting to be on social media. This is about what rules apply to certain people. Okay. Company rules and government rules are totally different. All right. When the government tells you to not do something, they have to have a safety reason for that. When the company that you work for tells you not to do something, they can just do that based off of that's just how they feel. All right. And I feel like right now we got an issue as to where people are acting like the ball doesn't bounce. That's the problem with y'all. That's the problem, because I shouldn't even have to convince you, because when they had the ball and they threw it to us, we was pissed. It was like, it hurt. Why you throw it that hard? Now you over here, you got the ball. Just put the ball down. You don't throw the ball back, because we all lose. You understand? Because once they got the ball, and I could already see, because when they was the one that was censoring. If anything, bro, I'm not even gonna lie. They're gonna censor everything. They're gonna censor if they are gonna spin, skew, whatever narrative, bro. Don't throw the ball back. We should all come together on this and be like, this is wrong. This isn't the same thing. This isn't your local TikToker getting fired for saying something that they shouldn't have said. There's big politics, big money plays at play in this situation. All right, ABC's trying to do a merger. They trying to be in FCC's good graces. That it shouldn't depend on that. That's not what we put the government over there for. We didn't put the government over there to limit ideas and jokes. And you want to know why else this is a reach? According to the FCC, they're claiming that the reason why they put in pressure is to stop misinformation, stop people from spreading, falsehoods and fake news and stuff like that. And I'm just like, since when did I go to Jimmy Kimmel for real news? Since when did anybody look at Jimmy Kimmel as like, okay, everything he's saying is facts? That's number one. That's how you know they're reaching. Number two, and ABC, let me tell you, if ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel because of that video, but literally the entire country watched the video and was either like, we don't see what the problem was, and even the MAGA people, they was wrong about what apparently was offensive about the video. They literally thought that, oh, they're making fun of Trump. They thought it was a Trump thing. Meanwhile, it was the comparison of like putting MAGA in the shoes of somebody that would pew a commentator. That was that. If you gotta point out what's so offensive about the thing that you find offensive, you already lost me. You lost me, bro. Fact. So glad people are waking up. This is murder. ABC is losing the big pharma money, and here we go. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things at play. And I feel like no American who loves America should be championing this. None at all. There's a difference. There's a difference when the government tells you to do something and a private entity tells you to do something. If that's the best you can do, that means you was looking. They was looking for something. This is get back. Let me tell you something. They don't have the laws in place to stop your free speech yet. They're gonna have to turn it into like, they're gonna have to be like, oh no, you're doing hate speech, and then they're gonna make laws. But because they're not in place yet, this was payback for the stuff that they were seeing online. All the stuff that they were seeing online. But you know what though? The government, we don't pay them there. We don't put them there. Actually, no, we don't pay them there to be petty. We don't pay them there to sit there and be like, okay, how can we get back? No, we put you there for policies, safety, and whatever we put you there for. So I don't want to see a blatant, clear display of you just swinging your werewolves around simply because you felt offended. All right? We don't put you there to feel offended. Let the people, we the people might feel offended. I was on my channel. I was on this TikTok channel. I think that video got literally, I think it got like 200,000 views. I'm literally like, yo, we should not be celebrating that man's death. This is wrong. We got to maintain social norms. This stuff should be taboo, blah, blah, blah. But I can still turn around and be like, I don't care what's going on. I still don't want the government to get involved. That's a fact. Let's be clear. The same person that's telling you, yo, don't be making fun of that man, bro. This isn't normal. Like, we shouldn't be happy about this. This could lead to, I do that because I know where this can go. Like, I know, like, oh, okay, we're about to start getting comfortable with political assassinations. I don't think that's a good idea. Like, that can't be good for neither side at any point in the future. You understand? So I see something like that, and I'm just like, nah, we shouldn't do that. But the same way I could and I was saying, yo, shame all those people listen, if you lost your job for making fun of Charlie Kirk, you're the Dumbo in the situation. You know what I mean? You did it to yourself. You know what I mean? Because that's not the energy, the type of world I want to live in. But I'll tell you what I would hate to live in even worse. As bad as that sound, I still don't want to live in a regime, in a world where the government can dictate what I got to say, how I got to say it, and when I can say it. That's a fact. That's a fact. One world is way worse than the other. Please follow. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate y'all. One reality is way worse than the other reality. And I'll take people getting fired from work all day before I take a government tapping a company on the shoulder and being like, hey, you should fire that person. What? Bro, what are we doing? And you know what? I should not have to explain. Conservatives are the leaders of anti-cancel culture. Conservatives, Republicans, Trumpers, MAGA, you guys are the ones that champion, we're not canceling anything. We don't cancel freedom of this, freedom of that, freedom of... What? Since when does the chairman of the FCC lying about things that are clearly not happening in terms of actually no. I guess Jimmy Kimmel is spreading misinformation, but how are you supposed to do a comedy show without some jokes? You think every joke is going to be real? I guess only Trump and his followers have freedom of speech. He is filled with hate speech. You know what I mean? And it's just, and that's the thing. Listen, I may not like what you say, but I'm going to defend your right to say it. You understand? In terms of I might not like what you say, but you can definitely say it. And you should deal with the consequences of whatever you say. Except as long as those consequences do not come from the government. I pay the government to govern, not dictate what people are saying, even when it comes from the FCC. The FCC is there to make sure I don't see boobies on the screen, to make sure people aren't saying the F word, make sure things are, you know what I mean? Things are regulated. Things are safe for the kids. Literally, the entire country was like, wait, where? First of all, it wasn't even that funny of a joke. People was like, where's the insult and where's the joke? People didn't even know what was going on. The entire world, the entire country was confused. The entire country, absolutely. I appreciate you. I know I'm spitting facts, bro. Because you know what, dog? Listen, we all see this. It's too blatant. It's too blatant of a violation of freedom of speech, especially for America. The reason why I remember, we always talk about other countries, how they don't have the freedoms to say what they want to say. You want this to be China? You trying to make this the CCP? Well, you better holler at the FCC, because the FCC is trying to turn this into the CCP. I'm telling you right now. Oh, thank you for sharing this. That's what's up. Last I checked, Kimmel worked for a company. Yes, okay, you must have just joined us, Kevin. Kevin, thank you for mentioning that. You must have just joined us. Yes. If ABC fired Jimmy Kimmel off the strength of ABC wanted to fire Jimmy Kimmel, I would not be making this video. This would literally fall into the same category as everybody else who got fired for saying anything about Charlie Kirk, whether or not I thought it was warranted or not. Even though I still don't think that joke was warranted, Kevin, even though I still don't think that joke should have got him fired, but if ABC felt like they should have got him fired, then who am I to tell ABC what to do? But when you blatantly, Kevin, when you can see that chairman of the FCC saying, we about to pull licenses. We about to pull licenses right now for misleading information based off of what a joke that nobody understood or an offense that nobody saw. We got a problem, Kevin. We got a big problem, Kevin. I'm not lying. Amen. Thank you, Deli. You know what I mean? That's a fact, bro. Who doesn't see that? Stop it. Stop it. This is infringement on our First Amendment rights. Wake up, United States of America. Thank you. This is, and you know what, Standard? Let me tell you something. I like the fact that you said wake up, United States of America, because people be forgetting, bro. Y'all be acting like you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. No, my boy, you're American first. And the reason why I say that is because you can see, and that's why I didn't want the Charlie Kirk thing to get too crazy, because you can see it happening to somebody else and you remove yourself from the situation as if you're not the same, as if you can't see yourself in the other person. We Americans, bro. Right now it's Jimmy Kimmel. Tomorrow it's going to be Candace Owens. You know what I mean? It's just going to be, it's just going to be tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat. And we don't want that. This is what will make all American people unite as one, stand up to the government. Thank you. And that's all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Because I have to remind you guys, remember that feeling that you got once you found out that Mark Zuckerberg was under pressure from the Biden administration. I remember, I almost lost my channel. I got 20,000 subscribers on YouTube right now, bro. I would be at 0 right now. I almost lost my whole channel because all I kept on doing was making jokes about COVID, about C-19. That's all I kept on doing. And I'm like, how is this? But I'm not even misinformation, nothing. And then come to find out the government had his hands in that. The government was stopping me from speaking my mind. There's a problem with that. All right? We not China. We not these other countries where you get taken off the map for speaking a certain way. We're not these other countries. And we will never be. And this would be, I think, who said, I can't believe I agree with this person. What's that guy's name? I never, oh my God. Yo, bro, this dude, Tucker Carlson? I think his name is Tucker Carlson. He said, yo, if there's ever been a reason for any civil discourse or anybody like obedient, like pretty much he was saying we should be raising hell. And I'm like, yo, bro, I agree with him. P, we might as well start getting tattoos and barcodes on us. Exactly. We might as well. We got our phones. Yo, bro, man, like, you see England, like, you see Europe in them, like, them boys they're living a treacherous life out there. I heard you gotta, like, pretty much scan your ID in order for you to get on the internet or something crazy like that. Like, if y'all not trying to live that kind of life, bro, like, everybody should be upset. You know what I mean? Especially the MAGA people. You guys should be the most upset. I remember the hell, y'all. I came on I think that video made a bunch of views too. I forgot how many views I got. Definitely like a bunch of people agreed with me when I was like, yo, the fact that Biden is telling them not to do this is crazy. Like, we should be raising hell, and you guys agreed. So you should feel the same way, bro. Not over that joke. I'm sorry. Not over that joke. The government's trying to do away with the dollar and put everything on debit cards. And you know what's crazy? If they do that, if the government does do away with cash and make everything kind of like a digital payment thing, if we let them dictate who can say what on, today, who knows what's going to happen in the future? Who knows where this is going? Because at this point, I'm not putting anything past the administration. I'm not putting anything past any politician in this country ever again. Yo, bro, it felt so good to hear. I'm not going to lie. It felt so good to hear Obama talk. It felt like, oh my gosh, wow, somebody who just sounds normal. Someone who just like, and he addressed this whole issue. He addressed this whole thing. And I'm like, wow, I forgot how normal president, how having a president with a sane mind even sounds like, bro. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man, I don't want to live in a country like that. I'm sorry. I don't want to live in a country like that. I believe everybody that got a copy test when they signed their signature on the DNA, okay, I agree with Obama. I think he ran Biden administration since Joe stage cancer. Obama, yeah, man. I mean, yo, man, I got mad. I'm not even gonna lie, man. Obama, especially after dealing with all of this BS, I'm like, bruh, man, like, he was not bad, bro. He was not bad. But anyways, I mean, it's obviously not about Obama, but it's just like, man, like, I'm against all limitations on my speech. I want to be able to say what I want to say, how I want to say it, and to who I want to say it to without any government interference. And everybody in this country should feel the same way. Point blank, period. Everybody in this country should feel the exact same way. All right? Nobody, especially, not like this. Because now I hear that they're trying to come up with laws. They're trying to come up with anti-hate speech laws. But you know what's so fun? It's just like, actually, no, I'm not even going to say. What I really want to say is like, really, y'all want to do this now? We had way better reasons, way more. Like, I could have, even though I don't want this to happen. Like, I want people to say what they want to say. But I'm like, golly, this is the reason that's going to make us have anti-hate speech laws? All right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I miss him too. I ain't gonna lie. You have the right. You have that right, dude. You have that right. Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Oh, I see. No. Yes, we have that right now. But I'm talking about maintaining that right for the future. I'm talking about maintaining that right for the future. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, I have the right to say what I want to say now. But every day I'm starting to see things that I thought was a given, was a God-given right to be born, that you get when you was born in this country. Things like things that I thought was solidified isn't so solidified anymore. And I'm scared. Even the threat, the idea of my rights being threatened, the idea of my First Amendment rights being threatened gets me worked up. It puts me in like a fight or flight. It makes me feel like, oh my gosh, wait, what's happening? That's why every single time, I say this till I'm blue in the face, I promise you, every time I see some wild shit, like somebody getting locked up, whenever I hear some craziness about no judges being called, no due process, even that whole Venezuela thing, I was like, okay, so we're just killing drug dealers now? Like, we're not going to lock them up, bring them to court? Like, have them have their day in court. Like, even that rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, yo, bro, everybody needs due process. Everybody has these certain rights because this is America, bro. Anyways, man, Jimmy Kimmel's ass always has been, don't act like y'all watch that shit. Okay, here's the thing. And a white 90-25. Personally, I do believe that, actually, I believe two things. I do believe the ratings were low and like maybe they was looking for an excuse anyways, but it's like at the same time, it's like this shouldn't have been the excuse because it sets a bad precedent regardless. You know what I mean? Whether I watch the show or not, the fact that you took that show off because of this reason, no way. You would have been better off being like, yo, low ratings, we're canceling the Jimmy Kimmel show. I stand by Trump. Oh, word. Okay, let's see this. I stand by Trump. I mean, I agree with everything he says. But I think he'll do better off at the end. Ronnie, I'm glad you're here, Ronnie. Welcome. I appreciate you here. Please don't leave, because I actually want to chop it up with you because you said you stand by Trump. And I think we should have a meeting of the minds real quick, okay? You say you agree with everything he says. I'm pretty sure you meant to say I don't agree with everything he says, but I think we'll be better off in the end. What do you base those thoughts off of? Like, what makes you feel like we're going to be better off at the end? Like, is this some kind of like, oh, hope at the end of the road type of dealio? Or like, what? Because I'm looking for something a little bit more concrete. Damn spell check. I said, okay, I thought that's what you said. I don't agree. I agree. I listen to both sides and I'm always open-minded. Okay. Remember they banned Trump from Twitter for his freedom of speech. Exactly. I do remember that. They definitely did ban Trump off of Twitter. But Twitter is a private entity. Twitter is different. It's not like Biden banned Trump off of Twitter. And these are the two big differences. All right? That's the biggest that's the biggest thing you got to keep in mind here. All right? When Trump was banned off of Twitter, that was somebody who ran Twitter who didn't like what Trump was doing or saying. They can do that. If Biden would have came out there and said, yo, ban this dude from Twitter, I would have been going just as crazy. Now, back to Ronnie, right? I agree. I listen to both sides. I'm always open-minded. Okay, that's cool. I'm just wondering as to, like, I listen to both sides. I lose brain cells listening to liberals. Listen. I'm not, shout out to everybody in the building, you know what I mean? I'm an equal opportunity TikToker, but I'll tell you this. When it comes to you feeling like things are gonna end up okay at the end, I feel like you deserve more. Ronnie, I feel like you deserve more only because it's like you shouldn't be like when people go and build a house, like let's say I'm going to go build a house, right? I have plans, I have everything in motion, I know what this house is going to look like at the end, okay? If Trump is doing stuff that contradicts the things that you thought you put him in there for, you can't just hope. And mind you, I'm just like you. I'm looking at both sides as well. You know what I mean? Shout out to you. But I'm not going to sit here and just hope things end up cool at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I'm going to hold him to the fire because that's what's going to make sure that things do end up good at the end of the day. Oh, thank you for the follow. That's what's going to make sure that things do end up good at the end of the day. You understand? Yeah, man. Oh, although the last administration was very much paying off Supreme Court judges Fannie Willis. Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. You're probably right. I get a lot of kickboxing. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. I like the old saying, everything looks good on paper until you start the building. Yeah, until you start building. Yeah, okay, that's a fact too. You know what? That's a fire response. Because as somebody that's in the industry, yeah, it looks good on paper, but once you're in the field, things can go astray. Ooh, excuse me. Things can get mixed up and messed up or whatever. That's a fact. But at the end of the day, you fix that problem, you find a solution to that problem, and you keep it pushing. I cannot see any solution. I cannot see any viable solution in limiting people's freedom to say what they want to say. Straight up and down. By the government. By the government. Straight up and down. All these folks go eat dinner at the end of the day together. They're all in it together and use us as bait. Exactly. You know that you talking my language are white. You talking my language. Just like, yo, they use us as bait. They use us as bait to get what they want. And you know, the perfect example of that is every time they claim the government's about to shut down. Every single time the government's about to shut down, we the ones that's going to suffer. They saying, yo, millions of people are going to suffer if you don't follow my plans, if you don't let my things in, if you don't do this and do that. They're using us as bait. And until we realize that, they're going to keep doing that. And when you look at what's happening with Jimmy Kimmel, that's a very clear path to silencing us, and we're gonna be the victims, bro. We're gonna be the victims. I'm not gonna lie to you. She paid her boyfriend. Okay, you talking? Okay, who's giving your tax dollars to billionaires? Who's giving my tax dollars? I don't know who. Tell me. Both parties have sold us out for personal power and enrichment. Demo KKK rats. Oh, Demo. Wow, I never heard that one before. Demo KKK rats. That's wild. That's the first time I heard that one. That's wild. Just use race as a okay. Welcome to authoritarianism, bestie. I'm gonna leave the country ASAP. Hey, M, what up, M? What up, M? M is, yo, you know what? I want to make you a moderator, actually. I don't know how to do that. I was looking at the thing, it popped up. I was like, oh, I should make him a moderator. But anyways, I'm stealing that, right? Like, that's kind of like KKK, right? I mean, I'm not gonna steal it, but that's a wild thing. But anyways, yeah, man, that's how I feel about the situation. You know, nobody should be happy about what's going on, man. This is an attack on America, attack on free speech, and all of that, man. Nobody should be happy about this, especially if you're an American, man. Right and left are the same. They all help the rich. It's an illusion. Yeah, of course. Or else Israel wouldn't be. You ever notice it doesn't matter what administration is in, Israel always gets what they want? Hold on, let me chill before they do something to the TikTok, man. Let me fall back. But anyways, man, you know what it is, man. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Shout out to M is in the building. You know it's always a party whenever M pull up. Thank you for following me. A white Ronnie G kept the conversation blazing. I appreciate you, Mr. All of y'all, man, everybody who pulled up, God knows I can't go through all of this. It'd be easier to do this on YouTube. I only have 4 people to build it over there. But I appreciate everybody pulling up, man. I got to skirt up out of here. I just dropped a video on the subject. Let me know what's going on in the comments on there, and I'll be replying in my stories and all of that. So tap in, man. I'm out.